Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we're working with another two-color pattern. This one is 14417 on friendshipbracelets.net, and it is a familiar pattern. I've done it in a different way before, but this time doubling it changed a lot. In fact, when I first started out, I didn't realize how this was going to actually segment, and once it started going into the pattern that I start doing with it, I realized that this bracelet is actually far easier than I first imagined. It does have knots that go, left then right and right then left, and sometimes that can make a pattern a lot harder to do. And I was also concerned with only two colors that there would be a case of having to watch the pattern so closely to make sure that I'm not making errors or whatever. But it turns out it does this thing like every other time where there's this single dot, like the right there, that single dot, and then a double one, and then a single and a double. It just alternates. And as a result, it turns out it's pretty darn easy. Now here I did the light green coming in towards the left or whatever, but later figured out that in order to get them to space better, maybe just keep everything going to the right. Plus I favor doing right knots anyways. But then again, the light colored strings, they by far don't get used as much as the dark ones, because if you remember, the dark ones are fewer number of them. Like there's like 4 out of 12 are the dark ones, and all the rest are the lighter color, so they don't get used as much. But if you are cutting strings, trying to cut it close, make sure that you make the dark ones plenty long enough. Again, I use 1/3 of a skein, which it makes it pretty much bulletproof for any of my patterns that I do. That's got a lot to do with why my templates are the size that they are, is it fits the wrist nicely, and I'm not going to run out of color if, it gets used an awful lot. And again, in this case, the dark ones totally did. So as far as this pattern itself, you have one row where it's like a single, then the dark, then a single, dark, and a single. And the other row is double, double, double. And that just alternates. So once you kind of get into a rhythm with this bracelet, it turns out that it's actually really quite easy. Again, yes, you do have to still know, the knots that go 2 directions and that kind of stuff. You don't use them a lot. And if you're just kind of getting used to them and you're trying to, up your game, this would be a great bracelet for that. If you're like, you've learned how to do the 3rd and 4th knots and you're just kind of not sure, yeah, this I think would be a really great bracelet for that. Yeah, it just, when I first got started, I really thought this was going to be a tough one. But yeah, it didn't take me long to figure out, nope, this is awesome. And the single dot versus where it makes the little triangle thing, or where this one comes down, this one turns at the last little green before the dark one. Oh no, this is the one that comes all the way down. It's the other side that does the thing out. But yeah, it's like it gives itself little clues, right? Like that little one has a little bump out, and this is the row where everything is just done in 2s. Segmenting, you almost kind of have to segment it just because the way it's laid out. Oh, and it only took me like 1 hour and 8 minutes, which is, I don't want to say it's average. It might be above average. Like, I don't know, like, if it always ends up, it's 12 strings is near 1 hour for me typically. This one just seemed to be going pretty well. Considering I was watching some shows while I was doing, I was watching Futurama, which I do like to see what's going on in the show. So I was looking away from the project, and the fact that I still got it in that amount of time, definitely cool. But yeah, I really, once I got into the rhythm, once it all started to kind of click for me, I really enjoyed making this. It really is just whatever two colors, it's just something of contrast that'll make this one work. So mine is a kind of a bright, it's the green that you're seeing on the screen does not look like the green that's in my hand. There it looks like a very light green. In my hand it looks like one of those ones that the green that can like kind of glow in a fluorescent light, or not fluorescent, the black lights, or kind of like the green that glows in the dark but brighter, like it's already glowing or something like that. And the other color is a brown, which I thought would be kind of a fun combination just to try something different. But yeah, once you get into the rhythm of this, awesome. It is absolutely way cool. So yeah, and I won't be able to see where this ends very well. So let's do this. Let's thank our Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members. Their contribution to helping me keep this thing going is absolutely awesome. I really appreciate everybody on the list. If you want to join, that's easy. There's links down below. You can go check that out. And yeah, I would definitely appreciate some more help. I kind of have it going on pretty well right now, you know, with floss and stuff, but you know, there's always more. There's always room for improvement, and I really do want to make this channel the best I can. So it's about what, like, I think both of them have like a $5 option. I think, if I'm not mistaken, so it's $5 Singapore. So if you're in a country like America, it's only like $4. So, you know, that's less than a coffee, I think, if you go to a fancy place. I don't know. I don't get much fancy coffee, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it's about the cost of one of those Hershey pies over at Burger King. I like them. Yeah. Anyways, I'm so easily distracted. It's got to be the ADHD thing. I don't know. So yeah, every other row, if you kind of look at it like how there's like chunks, every other row is, you know, it just alternates. So once you get that gist, it just works. I like this pattern a lot. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing, if you guys get like where you're getting creative, you want to try something, I think this would be fun to see this in like a 24 string. So that way the alternating thing really kind of shows up more. I think it would look like some of the fancier handbags that women carry around, because it's a big deal, but it's subtle at the same time. And I think there's a lot of companies that use that sort of a thing in their work. So yeah, if you think you're up to it, try this in a 24 string and tag me when you're done. Like, well, you could put it in the finished bracelets over in Discord, because that would be cool. Or I guess you could tag me in Instagram. I'm not sure if that's as easy. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, probably Discord probably makes the most sense. That's probably where I'm more likely to actually spot it. Recently somebody tried to hit me up with some pattern numbers over on Instagram, but they did it in the comment section, and so like it's hard to find it again, so I can reply that I'm not making 43 string alphas into regular ones. So if you were the person that did that, yeah, that looked like a nightmare. Like somebody thought this huge alpha pattern would be better as a regular pattern. Why, it was like 40 strings or more, and it was it had some complications in there where it would have been really difficult to try to pull it off into a normal pattern. It's probably why I don't do alphas, is because you can do anything you want in an alpha. It doesn't matter. You put a color wherever you feel like it. But in these kind of patterns, you have to be more systematic. You have to find, it's almost like in a logarithm, right? You have to find a path that lets the string go and put the colors where you want them. And to me, that's probably my more favorite thing about this craft, is trying to make a pattern work, as well as trying to find a pattern that is easy and convenient to do, like this one, right? There are patterns where, sure, you can do it. You can put a word in there if you have, two colors and they just kind of zigzag down, and pop off whichever the alternate color is, in order to put words in it. But those are difficult. You really have to watch your pattern closely, and you have to, be real super mindful and whatever. Like, this pattern, once you get the hang of it, it's almost mindless. You just know that every other one it just changes. Like this one here has the little bump out thing, then that dark will come down to the little end of the light greens and come back the other way. That's simple. You can see where the change up is, and then you can see that the one above was the dark triangle, so the next one has one little green and the dark comes over. Easy, super easy. I kind of wish all bracelets were this easy, but they're not. And I guess I don't wish they were all this easy, because if they were, I wouldn't have a channel, right? Because yeah, oh well. I guess having a little bit of difficulty means that we can try working out new things. Mind you, this is so far from the original pattern and doing the original pattern in like a double wide, right? Because if you look at what would happen to the original pattern double wide, the diamonds would be like right next to each other, kinda. Yeah, kind of hard to describe what it would look like, but it would be really different. This kind of offsetting it and trying something new, definitely way cool. Oh yeah, I had to count, trying to make sure I end up at the right length, which I did. It's not that hard. What I used was the single dots are on the side, because yeah, once I get to the right number of those, then it's just a dark one and then it ends. So that was pretty convenient. I didn't have to, like, I'm counting every other one, right? So it's a little bit easier than having to count every single row that's in there. Again, little nuancy things that just make the whole project easier. So yeah, totally loving that. Yeah, I was just, my one mistake, I was supposed to bring that back, and it didn't take me like a moment to suddenly realize, no, that ain't all right. Also, I knocked off, trying to reach for the needle, I knocked some stuff off my magnetic board at that point, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't want to like mess with all of that because I was recording. But yeah. Trying to remember if there's anything else. Oh, this wasn't done in a live stream. This, like, sometimes I've told you guys, like, if I'm making stuff, I do it in a live stream. This was, however, done with Discord open. So I am trying to get more time to having Discord open where people can chat with me. Obviously, like right now, that would not be a good idea, because they could come in and they could say whatever they want, and then it could ruin my whole 15 minutes or whatever of video, and I'd have to start over. And I hate that. Oh man, I hate that. Like, if I've already worked out all the clever things to tell you guys, and then I have to a recording issue and I have to rethink it all out and remember what I have and what I haven't said, yeah, that's like my worst nightmare. So yeah, that's why I'm not in Discord right now. In case you didn't know, that's why. And that goes for the same with making the patterns. Anytime I'm recording where my voice is getting used, Discord is off. I am, however, like I said, trying to open it up when I'm actually making stuff, because we can talk while I'm making. That's not a big deal. Kind of easy. So actually, it kind of makes it a little bit more fun. So yeah, join me if you see me there. I could put on like make a notification to say that I'm doing it. Oh, I recognize that. The dart string going off to the side is because that one's done. Yeah, we're getting near the end of this now. Woo. I could make a notification in Discord to say that I'm going to be available. But I'm not sure if everybody appreciates having notifications. I know that there's a couple of Discord things that I follow, and I don't need a notification to say, oh, look, there's somebody else that's joined. So after a while, I get kind of bothered by the messages. But if you guys think that I should do it, let me know in the comments, because I could do that. And then you guys could hang out with me, and it could be cool. All right. Near the very end, I do want to thank you for still hanging out with me, because that's awesome. I get kind of graded by YouTube as to how long people stick around. So the fact that you're still here makes you pretty darn awesome. So thank you. Thank you very much. We're coming up to the reveal here in a moment. We're really close. There's like one more little diamond thing. Yeah, if you haven't already, hit like, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.